but the offensive line coach. Eberflus comes back. You hire Caleb Williams. You draft him. You bring back the same coach nobody liked. And then he gets fired because they literally ruined the game on Thanksgiving. They ruined their Thanksgiving. Bill Belichick, North Carolina. I dismissed it at first. Now it's real. I think Bill is going to stoke the fire again for college football, for his reputation. This is the way for him to rehabilitate his personality and rehabilitate his career. He shows progress. He shows that he's good and that he can coach again. It's going to spark NFL interest. The buyout before 1 year is $10 million. If he wants to leave after 1 year, the buyout's $1 million. I'm telling you right now, I booked it yesterday on 12/12/24. By the way, 12/12. By the way, did you get that? 12/12? 12/12 was Tom Brady Day. Remember yesterday? You didn't put all that together? No? Not a numbers guy, Jeff?
No.
You don't look into that stuff?
No, I'm a YouTube guy now. We're live. We are live!
Yes, you are looking live at the Town Fair Tire Studios. It's Brent Musburger. I'm Keith Jackson. Nelly, Alabama. The sophomore. We're back, everybody. We're up. Everyone's happy. Jeff, you can now put YouTube content creator on your resume.
I don't know why they made the process so difficult now. You have to copy stuff and paste it and blah, 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 all just to get on. You just can't hit a button anymore.
Well, thank you for everybody tuning in. I mean, we're here on a Friday night. It's Friday the 13th. Oh! The people in the chat, though, I got to tell you right away, coming in hot. Hey, someone goes, hey, Joe, let's go beefing. You know what? I think we're going to go beefing later on tonight. Stand by for that one. Next hour, we're going to go beefing. I don't know who barbecue it is, but we can go beefing. All right, so Bill Belichick's at North Carolina. My whole take on it is that he's going to be there for 1 year. His whole staff is going to ride his coattails there. They're going to get the biggest recruits. They're going to be in middling ACC. They're going to get him back into contention next year, maybe potentially be in the ACC championship game. He does well, and then Bill has interest again in interviews for the NFL. But he might say, no, stay another year. I think Bill will go back to the NFL, and the oldest coach ever in the NFL, Romeo Crennel, 73 years old when he was hired. So I think he coached until he was, 75? So I don't think it's out of the possibility that Bill Belichick could be back in the NFL. Poo-poo it all you want, but you go to North Carolina and you pump yourself back up a little bit. I've watched this happen with plenty of college coaches. I just saw it happen with Rich Rodriguez, who's now back at whatever school, West Virginia. He went to Jacksonville State, and here he is again. I watched Lane Kiffin go to FAU. FAU. Who? The Owls. Yes. Who? And now he's at Ole Miss, damn it. You take a step back to take a couple of steps forward. It's exactly what Bill Belichick's doing. All right, I got a heater. Been waiting on this one for a little bit. Somebody gave a George Jetson's reference. Hey, did George Jetson and Homer Simpson have the same job? Homer worked at a plant, right, and pushed buttons. What did George Jetson do? Did he work on the aircraft?
It was sprockets, right?
But he pushed buttons.
I believe so, yeah. So but that was all automated up in that point,
Okay, but do all dads in cartoons push buttons? Randy?
No, Fred Flintstone was a construction guy, right?
That's right. Randy, he pushed buttons.
What did Peter Griffin was in? He did toys, right?
What was Peter Griffin's job?
Because his earlier episodes, he got fired from the toy factory, I believe.
What was Peter Griffin's job? Office worker. Nah. He was a fisherman, a toy maker. Then he was a shipper at the Pawtucket Brewery, but then got moved to line worker at the same brewery. I never knew that. He worked at Mr. Weed's Toy Factory, and now he's at a brewery, someone is telling me. Cartoon dads. Are they all just pushing buttons? Anyways, got a take coming up for you guys in a little bit here. Phone number, 617-779-0985. I got a lot to get into. A lot. And we will do that as we're here until 10 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.
Back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We're here all night. Full show, no interruptions. Jeff Williams is here tonight. Skaz is out. We started talking about cartoon dads, and I just was thinking about it, and it was because we were talking about how the YouTube wasn't working. We couldn't figure out how to do it. And I just started thinking about what jobs cartoon dads had. And the one Peter Griffin brought me down a rabbit hole because he did work at a toy store and then did work at a brewery and then did move. And I know Homer works at the plant. The Jetsons were up in space. I've gotten a few tweets already on this one. I didn't realize this was going to be the one. Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Another underrated show.
The works of you went right to Fred Flintstone, dude. Like you went.
I'm not even a big Flintstones guy, too.
I mean, I don't think I've watched like the cartoon in 35 years. So I can't even remember. I remember the movie with John Goodman.
Yes.
Right? Wasn't he? Yeah, he was in the movie.
And what's his name was Barney. Rick Moranis. I don't think we've seen him since. No, he came back for something.
Like a something the kids. Ooh, Al Bundy worked at a shoe store. That's not a cartoon. Oh, we were talking about King of the Hill. Bobby, propane. He worked at a propane factory.
He loved propane.
Bobby. And I was telling you, I used to, it had to be 20s, right? It was just 20s or 30s. I can't remember. I'm 42, so I had maybe 20 years. But like,
oh, that show came out in like the late 90s.
If you didn't watch Seinfeld, Simpsons, Family Guy, King of the Hill, Futurama, like what were you doing? And no, I didn't watch the shows. I think we were all just getting stoned watching them. Like, I think that's what it was. And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of I don't want to go on a rabbit hole of cartoons and dads, but that's what I wanted to keep it to, is just cartoon dads. And I know some people in the chat are already bringing up some dads now, so I might have to look at this. Hank Hill, propane.
Seeing Red Foreman in the chat.
What was Red's job? Well, Chong worked at owned the photo booth, right? Didn't he own that photo place? Man, I can't remember. What other cartoons were? Oh, what about South Park?
Randy.
Well,
Kyle's dad was the lawyer.
Kyle, yes, exactly.
Kenny's dad was unemployed.
Oh, jeez. It's Friday the 13th, everybody. We got PJ in Hudson. Hey, PJ.
Hey, how are you, Joe?
How you doing?
Doing great. Hey, listen, much respect to you and everyone on the Sports Hub. You guys do a great job. But I don't want to say I would disagree with you regards Belichick, but I don't think it's a tryout. I think it's a big middle finger to the NFL. If it was a tryout, he would go to a contender.
Oh, well, PJ, let me tell you this much. I mean, okay, yeah, it's a middle finger to the NFL. What does it matter? Like, yeah, screw you, NFL. Like, what's he going to get out of that?
Is a coaching gig in a nice warm weather with his young girlfriend?
Yeah, he's making $15 million less.
Money's not an object. You think he needs the money?
Come on, bro.
You think he needs the money?
Currency is the ultimate respect in life. You know that.
Yeah, I just.
Bro, what do you do for work?
Sales.
Okay, so I used to work in sales. I made way more money in sales than I do working on the radio. But you know what? I like working on the radio. That's my choice.
Yeah.
Now, someday I would like to get out of nights and maybe move up to a drive time or something like that. Then I can make more money. But that's how it works in my world. In Bill Belichick's world, he went from the NFL to college and is taking $15 million less It's not a middle finger to the NFL. It's screw you. I'm going to take my ball and go home because nobody will hire me. So he needs to reinvent himself to gain interest again. And if not, he'll do exactly what you're saying. Young girl, live the North Carolina life and all that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't disagree with you. You guys do what you do, and you're great at it. But I just think it's...
Well, PJ, it's okay. Like, this is sports radio. Like, I have a take, you have a take, and we hammer it out.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Where are you going? You going out to dinner in Hudson tonight?
No, I just came back from the Chengdu in Westboro, had a couple of Mai Tais, and now I'm going to go set up a party with some friends for tomorrow night.
The Chengdu?
Oh, yeah.
Where's that? I've never been there. Where's this?
It's in Westboro. I just had two Mai Tais and got some takeout.
Wow.
Delicious.
Wow, okay. Well, I thought you might be if you were in the Hudson area rail trail. I love their pizza.
Yeah, well, that's also a great place, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you had a couple of Scorpion Bowls, man. Would you have a Scorpion Bowl for 1 or 2?
No, just 2 Mai Tais.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Mai Tais. So when you get a big Scorpion Bowl, right, and they give you 2 straws, do you just drink out of 1 straw, or would you drink out of both straws?
1.
Okay. All right, thanks, PJ. When I get a Scorpion Bowl for 2, I drink out of both straws because I want double the impact. Right? I want double the scorpion bite.
Like a walrus.
Are you a Mai Tai or a Scorpion Bowl?
I'd do a Scorpion Bowl.
Me too. By the way, see those Kowloon Levias?
I got to try one of those.
So I'm not really much of a imbibing cannabis person. I prefer the oil way or the flower way. But I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Scorpion Bowl Levia?
I love a good edible.
It does affect you differently, though, right?
Yeah, but I can't mess around. I can't mess around with the little 5 milligrams. Like I need like the 50 milligram.
So you know what? My problem is I don't do this stuff anymore as much. I'm an adult now, so I can't really just I did dabs I think once or twice in my life, and I didn't move for a week. Like the night I did it, I don't think it was 7 hours in the house of not moving.
You would look at me like I'm like the most awfulest person in the world if you knew how many dabs I take a day.
No, but what I'm trying to tell you is that that stuff melts you. So I feel like that's what happens to people with edibles. Is if they take too much, they just become a
yeah, too many edibles is a problem. Too many dabs is whatever, but too many edibles can be a bad time.
All right. It's Friday the 13th. I don't know where we're going with this show, but we're here till 10 o'clock tonight. We got to get the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
WBZ-FM and HD Boston.
Patriots!
From the opening kickoff to the final play.
Touchdown!
Your home of the pass.
Yes.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots getting ready for the Cardinals this Sunday. They have ruled out 3 players, including 2 rookies, Javon Baker and Caden Wallace. They've also ruled out Jaquelin Roy. Is he a rookie? I guess he would be. Odell Beckham Jr. has been released today, so he can sign with any team. Bruins continue their road trip tomorrow. They lost last night. It wasn't good. Well, they'll be in Vancouver tomorrow. And then Celtics take on Washington on Sunday. In baseball news today, the Yankees acquire closer Devin Williams from the Brewers today. And the Cubs, well, they get one of the best players in baseball. They get outfielder Kyle Tucker from the Astros. Headlines, they are brought to you by Kesha's Law. Injured and can't work? Turn to Kesha's Law, the official law firm of the New England Patriots, to tackle your needs with local attorneys who live and serve here in New England. Let Kesha's fight for you. Go to keshaslaw.com to book your free consultation. I'm Joe Murray. Next update soon.
Boston, the greatest sports town in America.
We have a farm. I have about 200 pigs here.
We got to spill beers on each other without worrying about spilling beers on people.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Now,
Tatum spins on the baseline, turns, fades, got it! The Celtics are the basketball team right now. They are a symphony. And they swing it around to Jaylen Brown, who finally knocks down a 3.
it's the Celtics at 7
Somebody's diapers smelling.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Our business here tonight is heretofore concluded.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. We were going to get into the Celtics. It's Friday. Listen, the show's already off the rails. Is this a cartoon? Wait.
No, this is the Friday the 13th theme.
Oh, okay. You know what would be funny, though? A Friday the 13th cartoon.
Like a Jason cartoon.
Yes, but, like, it's Friday the 12th and he's pissed. Right? So he has to go back to sleep and doesn't know what to do.
Or he wakes up on the 14th.
Yeah, it's Friday the 14th. But he'll wake up on Saturday the 14th and he's like, I missed it. I don't want to give anybody ideas now. I'm a big fan of, Friday the 13th is Jason.
Yes.
Halloween is Michael.
Yeah.
Freddy would be
Nightmare on Elm Street.
But they're all considered Halloween.
Yeah.
You know what? We need more horror cartoons. Like, imagine a House of 1,000 Corpses cartoon. Ooh, you know what was better? Was the second one. What was the
Devil's Rejects?
That was great. That was when he started really to get hot. I think we need more horror cartoons. I don't know where I came up with cartoon dads tonight, but that's where we went. Phone number 617-779-0985. I'm Joe Murray. Jeff Williams is here tonight. Skaz is getting a nice little 3-day weekend. Good for him. Nick is in Walpole. Hey, Nick.
Hi, Joe. Good show tonight. You guys kind of forgot one very important TV show, like from the 2000s and the late 90s, which is South Park. And the main dad, Randy, was originally a geologist, but in recent seasons has become a weed farmer, if you pay attention to it. Thanks for taking the call. Bye.
We did say that, right?
You might have. I don't remember saying that Randy was a geologist, but yeah, everyone knows now he's integrity.
Maybe I didn't say it, and I thought it.
That could be.
Maybe that's why he wanted to add to it. Yeah, probably. I mean, that does happen sometimes. I think I said something, but I didn't. But it's like, duh. We know. Randy's dad was a geologist. Did he ever do anything with geology that you can remember?
Well, one of the earlier episodes when the South Park residents were spontaneously combusting, he had to figure that out.
I only watch the ones that are, like, controversial.
Those early episodes are good. They hold a place in my heart because I grew up watching the show.
Like, again, we're almost the same age, but was it high school? Was high school, right?
That freshman. I was going into freshman year of high school.
So, about my time in high school, it was when it got real hot. I mean, what night were they? Because wrestling was still big back then.
They were Wednesday nights, South Park.
So, because wrestling was Mondays. You'd get South Park Wednesdays. I think I watched Lost on Tuesdays. I don't know why. I don't know. That might not have been in high school. That might have been.
No, that's a little bit further. I thought Lost was on Sundays, though.
No, it was on during the week, man.
Oh, okay.
Game of Thrones was a Sunday.
Well, that's way after. Lost, right?
During that time, it was like Sex and the City, Sopranos back to back.
Yes, you're right. Yep.
And you might even got an Entourage maybe later. My dates could be off a little bit. I don't really remember my 20s. I'm sorry. I think back to them, and I was in the car business so young in my life that I just don't. I worked. Anyways. Nick is in the car. Hi, Nick.
Hey, Joe. How you doing, bud?
Hi.
So I just heard you talking about the Levia drinks, the one from Kowloon.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big edible guy, but I tried those things, and I was actually in the middle of doing a sports card break and drank those things. So I drank them. I was doing the videos on Facebook. And I drank a couple of those things because I didn't think they were going to be strong. About halfway through the video, I couldn't function. So
you were buzzing, buddy.
Dude, I was more than buzzing.
Where do you break?
So I do fireside breaks. I did it just on a big Facebook group. I think it actually has been disbanded since then. But
all right.
I'm sure that didn't help. But
I hang out with the Card Vault guys every Friday, so I'll be streaming with them.
Nice, man. Awesome.
All right, and keep it easy on those Kowloon things.
Yeah, we'll do, buddy. Take it easy.
Okay. So now we have confirmation that they're strong. You might have to test it out. I don't know.
No, I'll grab a couple tomorrow.
Actually, believe it or not, there's a case right there.
Is that they're in there?
Yeah, but it's not addressed.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not gonna take it.
They're gone for 3 days, though. No, I am not the culprit. There's a culprit in. There is a culprit, by the way. Anything that's left in here, and if it's here, it's open to anybody. It's not me. Benny, what's up, Benny?
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
Yeah,
I haven't had we're talking about scorpion bowls. I haven't had scorpion bowls in years. Me and my buddy went out one night before St. Patrick's Day. Did 2 of those. I don't know if you've ever been to the Soul Proprietor in Worcester.
Oh,
Two
dude,
of those soul
I
bowls.
love the. Okay, so you like the Soul. I like the Boynton.
No, the Boynton's phenomenal. Yeah,
I love, dude, the Boynton for like pizza and like just like bar food, right? Like a pizza, wings, fries. They got great fries.
You can't go wrong when you order food from the Boynton.
So, but you were at the Soul.
Yeah, this was years ago.
And to
Yeah,
explain to everybody, they're literally next to each other, across the street from each other.
Right across the street, yeah.
All the college kids, because there's so many college schools right there, they're the 2 spots that people go to.
Yeah. No, we did 2 scorpion bowls that night, went to some private, 2 soul bowls, shots elsewhere. And ever since then I haven't had scorpion bowls because it brings me back to that night.
Oh, yeah, and usually it's the sugar that gets me.
Yeah.
Like the booze, I'm like, hee, let's have fun. But no, the next day it's the sugar, bro.
It's awful. So I wanted to talk to you real quick about the Celtics because I saw on Twitter, it must have been yesterday's show on ESPN, Angela Moss, and it had me thinking they were comparing Presti and Brad Stevens. Like, who would you rather have right now? And even though Brad's had the shorter tenure, like, you just have to take into fact, like, what he's done in 3 years compared to what Presti's done in 17 years. There are arguments like Brad came in with a great team, but Presti had Durant, Harden, Westbrook, Ibaka. They made it to 1 finals and nothing, and then they kind of went horrible for a couple year stretch.
All right,
Brad since
Benny,
GM 3 years.
All right, let's talk this out for a second. I do think that Brad Stevens has almost been flawless. Like he's an A. He's an A GM. He's an A. Sam Presti, I think, has been the model of great GM in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
But you're trying to say that it was easier for him because he had all that talent.
So the argument was they were saying it's easier for Brad because he came into the team that already had Tatum and Brown and everybody. And my argument,
he developed all of them. And not for nothing, Jaylen Brown didn't develop until they got Marcus Smart out of the way.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Like, you can't just completely discredit Brad for 3 years. I mean, it's an argument either way. I don't think you can go wrong, really. Presti does have a longer career, better career so far, but it's not just easy, real quick, Presti, without a doubt. There's an argument to be made there. Brad deserves the credit, too, for what he's done for 3 years.
And not for nothing, Oklahoma City had to get worse in order to get Chet later on, right? So it's just...
Yeah. And the other argument right now is OKC is still a younger team. People don't realize SGA is only 3 months younger than Tatum.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Can they keep it together? I mean, I think they can because they can just sign the guys to either deals before or when they're eligible. You know what I mean? They could probably just get guys then, but I mean, they might have a longer run than the Celtics. They might.
I don't know the ownership down there much. Like, is he willing to pay that money too or no?
Oh God, I don't know about that, but that guy can draft, man.
No, without a question.
Where if you give Brad credit, he's traded very well. The Kemba Walker for Al Horford deal was tremendous, and at the time we all kind of looked at it weird. I looked at it like he wanted Kemba out. No, it was because Al Horford barely played that year in Oklahoma City. Who did he make the trade with? Presti, right? Who won that trade? Brad.
Yeah, no, that's an easy one. Yeah, and have the balls to trade Marcus Smart too.
Yeah, it's not Brogdon. All right, Smart, see you, buddy.
Yeah,
and everybody was sad about it, but they were just fine.
Yep. So I mean, my thing is, it's not just as easy as saying, "Oh, Presti," without a doubt. There's an argument to be made for both.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Here,
Stretch.
What's going on, Joe?
How you doing, my man?
I'm all right, baby. How you doing on this Friday night, man?
Good. Can you shout out where you're from again?
Oh, you already know, man. I'm in Mattapan right now. Murderpan.
Well, I live the next town over. No, but where are you from? New York.
Oh, I'm from New York, baby. 11575 Roosevelt, baby.
There you go. Please save that. I need that saved. When you said that the other night, I loved it. I died laughing.
Yo, Joe, you already know, baby.
Joe, you already know. I feel like I should get shirts that say that.
Yo, put me on whenever you want to drop. I got you, Joe. Whenever you want to drop.
Talk to me about edibles.
Hey, I'm not an edible guy right now. For everybody who's an edible person, flower person, dad person, I'm taking one for y'all right now. Hey, that's for you, Joe.
Jeff, you as my witness just heard the first puff on the Joe Show ever. The first inhalation. Shout out to all. Oh my God. Shout out to everybody in Mattapan and shout out to everybody in New York and the 1-1. That's a first. I don't think that's... I've done radio for 17 years, everybody. 17 years I've done radio, and I've never had anybody bless us with flour. Never. 17 years. That's the first guy, Stretch. You have just made the Hall of Fame. Wow. Oh, where do we go here? Do we take a break or do we take the calls? We're on a roll right now. Ed's in the car. Hey, Ed.
Hey, Joe. How are you doing, bud?
I'm great.
Excellent. So I know it's a little bit early, but I wanted to pick your brain as far as golf betting acumen. What do you think about Rory finally breaking the major drought at Quail Hollow this year, the PGA? I feel like in the post-Tiger era, you get pretty good odds on the favorite. Usually it's plus 800, plus 900. I'm thinking that's a good number to hammer Rory at that course that he's owned that track. Just curious about your thoughts, big man.
Well, sir, I have an opinion, but I will ask. I'm going to write this one down for Skaz because Skaz is the show golf analyst on our show, and he's got a big one. But I will say this: Rory complains a little too much for me. Just a little too much. I think he should worry about his golf game a little bit more. Thanks, Ed. Wow, golf. We went from a guy smoking live on air to golf. This is the show tonight. Mike's in Malden. Hey, Mike.
Joe, babe, I've been up. Well, I slept a little on the flight, but I woke up 27 hours ago for a flight from Manila in the Philippines. And my homie, if you've not had Filipino street food, oh my gosh, it is incredible. Just an absolute dream come true. Joe, they have this thing that is effectively a deep-fried banana with this, like, delicious cinnamon sugar on top of it. Oh, incredible. Incredible.
Were you making moans?
Oh, the whole time. Joe, I was over there. These people, they show you their love through food, okay? And so I was fed incessantly all day. I had a 2 a.m. breakfast, a 7 a.m. breakfast, an 11 a.m. lunch, a 2 p.m. lunch, 5 p.m. dinner, 8 p.m. dinner. So this is your Mecca. It's your Mecca.
Yes, Hawaiian Filipino wife. They call that Tehran. It's the fried banana rolls, and they're like caramelized, and they melt in your mouth, and then they rest in your belly.
They make this like pork blood thing. It's like this. It's hard to explain, but
it's called I saw. It's a grilled pork with these this chicken with a barbecue marinated meat. They got all that stuff. Oh yeah, bro. I know.
Oh, it's heaven.
What about
Joe?
Did you have any duck egg?
Balutes? Oh yeah, and it's quite
Balutes.
good.
Thank you.
The trick is you don't want it to be like. Depends on how far along they let the fetus go. Some of them you can feel a little beak. A little too much for me. The ones that are just real early on, it's good.
The Komodo Q I like, but the Tahoe, if you know what that, it's like this little caramel syrup tofu, and it explodes in your mouth.
Oh, Joe, you've got it. If you've not been, it's also very interesting. National sport in the Philippines, basketball. Obsessed with basketball.
Wow.
Basketball courts all over the place. All over the place.
Well, maybe we should have a Filipino food truck at an event someday.
You're cooking with gas, brother.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you. I'm hungry. Oh. Did you hear him, though? He doesn't want to let down the high of the food.
He wants to go back.
There's 27 hours the guy's been flying, and he had. You know what though? I appreciate a man who ate food and wanted to tell me about it. That's sharing and caring right there. Jeez. Joey is in Kingston. What's up, Joey?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
All right. Remember the wings you used to call me about? Where are those again?
The Gillette wings.
Just at Gillette Stadium?
So they don't make them anymore. I think we talked about this. And you're the one who told me.
I had a buddy who worked there, and he kept telling me about the wings.
They were awesome, and you'd get a big box of them. And they were hot. They were delicious, moist. And then 2 years ago, they changed. You get like a box of 6, and they basically suck. And I told you that, and you told me that they changed. Whoever used to make them, it's changed. So you know what? We used to get them at the end of every game. Forget it; they're not worth it anymore. Too much money, and like they said, they're not what they used to be.
What's up with Kingston? I've had some people giving me some. I don't want the bar pizza. I want bar pizza. What's going on in that area? What's like Crow's Point? I know has got that pretty good buffalo chicken calzone. What else we got out in Kingston?
So as far as pizza, I go to A3.
Okay. Yep, you told me that.
It's just it's a little expensive, but it's just I like cheesy, and it's just something about it. That's where I get mine. As far as bar pizza, I'll make my way up to Braintree, to the Braintree Brew House. They got a great Greek pizza up there with the feta and the black olives. Plus, they got a million TVs to watch all sports and stuff. But as we speak, I'm on my way to the Royal Garden to pick up my dinner.
Oh, what'd you get?
And now, so Peking ravioli, fried shrimp, chicken fried rice, small order, and then getting chicken and broccoli. Now, the old days when I used to come in, the lady knew I always wanted like a Mai Tai. Usually get 1 or 2, but like I said, those are the old days, not tonight. Quick question before I get to my trivia. Did you ever go to the Hong Kong and Cambridge?
Absolutely.
To do their Scorpion Bowls?
I went, the Lees, actually, the family, was a sponsor to the old Sports Blast with Joey Murr back in the day in 1510.
Okay, you do the Scorpion Bowl. You had to have at least 2 people.
That's right.
And you couldn't have more than 2. And it used to have, the 151 rum in the center there.
Right. We always used to bet on who's going to do it.
I used to, a lot of times I really remember going home when I left there. And that was back in the old days. That was a while ago.
I used to do the Sunday night karaoke at the one in Boston.
Oh, wow.
And they give the chick, like the teriyaki on a stick. They just pass them out.
So you know what? Because you're a big roast beef guy, and I don't know if we talked about this, but they got a Brothers roast beef down here. It's pretty good.
Yeah, there's one down the Cape too in Yarmouth. Same place. I've heard it's very good.
I've been down there too because I know David Portnoy. He came by here and he gave it aces, and I was like, I agree. I mean, not too many places really down my neck of the woods, and I got it right down the street from me. But listen, so
yeah, what do you got?
So trivia. So the Flintstones. Do you know how Fred and Wilma got Pebbles?
No.
He stuck his rocks into Wilma's crusher.
I'm Joe Murray. You listen to the 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, back here 98.5, the Sports Hub. There was a special there was a beef special this week. We'll have that for you coming up in a little bit. It's Friday the 13th, and the stories are out there if you want. We got Belichick, you got Gerard Mayo, Patriots this weekend. You got the Red Sox and whatever they're going to do. College football, Army Navy's tomorrow. Whatever you want to do tonight. We're here till 10 o'clock. Well, we'll talk to John Serenides. He's from New England Football Journal. We'll talk to him later on. Besides that, it's me, you, and Jeff. Rest of the night here on the Sports Hub. Deshaun's been waiting. What's up, Deshaun?
Hello, guys. How you guys doing?
How you doing, bro?
Good. Speaking of nightmares, I know you guys were talking about horror type icons, stuff like that, whatever. I think in these last 4 games could be nightmares for New England. I think those point totals should be much bigger than that because in order for you to because I hear a lot of people talk about this team upsetting teams down the stretch, but in order for you to upset teams down the stretch, you got to be good at certain aspects of the football team, and they're not really good at anywhere on that team besides Drake May and maybe Gonzalez. But the defense is garbage, the offense is not consistent or whatever. So you got to have some cornerstone pieces in order to upset teams like what the Rams are doing.
Deshaun, who are their I know you just said, to me, I feel like it's Drake May and it's Christian Gonzalez and maybe Christian Barmore. I don't think they have any others.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, in order for you to have a chance to upset teams like they claim the team can do down the stretch, you at least got to have some cornerstone pieces, in certain areas in order to have a chance of doing that.
Yeah, I think they should be better in
their Rams, what they're doing because they have pieces in other parts of the team.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So that's why I say I think they can win this weekend. I really do. But can they stop James Conner? I've been saying, I think Murray's been regressing a little bit. So can they lean on James Conner and stop the run? I don't know. So I'm interested to see what the Patriots look like after their bye.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that Murray's going to have all day, though. I mean, one of the things I talk about as far as the aspect of the team, they don't get pressure.
Yep.
So it puts a lot of burden on the secondary. The offensive line can't protect as well. So it puts a burden on Drake May to try to create, as well as the receivers that have a hard time getting open, and now really won't be able to get open when they don't have much time in the pocket.
You got it, my man. Well, they need a pass rush from somebody. I just turned my X on, my Twitter on, and I told you we made radio history. We had a man call in and smoked one up for everybody, and that's never happened to me in radio. I've never had we never had Bongwater Bill call in or anything like that, or Wes.
Hey, that's for you, Joe.
That's like in Half Baked. You know how they talk about the scavenger smoker? And Snoop Dogg arises, and he just hits it, and he goes, "Man, I just quit smoking yesterday, man. I'm about to get up out of here."
Be easy, y'all. It's not seen y'all. I ain't even into it yet. Back off.
Oh. Hey, Justin and Lynn. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Joe. I want to talk about the Bruins and the fact that they've been outscored 15-2 in their last 2 games. And I just want your thoughts on the reason why, because I have some thoughts that it's the lack of defense and lack of offense for them as well.
All right, Justin. And Justin, you got your TV show on Monday, right?
Yes, I'll see you on Monday.
I'm gonna be there. So, can people watch, or do we record it early? What happens?
We record it. We record it.
All right, so you record it, and then people will be able to watch it on Lynn Television.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Well, you get me a link, and I'll share that out to everybody. But I'll be there on Monday, my man.
See you on Monday, Joe.
Appreciate you, buddy.
I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thank you. Justin calls in. I met him at an event. I think you were there, Jeff. Justin came to Sylvan Street Grill.
Yes.
And the fellow gave him and Tommy from Lynn a ride home. And Justin does a local TV show in Lynn, and he asked me to be his guest on Monday. And I'm going over to the Lynn studios, and I'm gonna do a television show with him. This is gonna be fun. And you know what's funny is the Patriots play at 4:30 this week or 4:25. I do postgame. So postgame will probably start around 7:30, would you say?
Yeah.
And then about 3 hours up. We get home by 11:30. But you know what, though? I'm back in my day when I first started, I used to ask people to help me, and they would say yes.
Always return the favor.
Plus, it's only down the street, and maybe I'll get like Monty's on the way home or something like that. It'd be great. Mark is in Norwood. Hey, Mark.
Hey, how you doing? You a great show. So that must be a thrill of a lifetime for you, being on TV in Lynn. I bet to be probably the pinnacle of your career.
Well, listen, I used to be in a Norwood. So, I used to do Norwood. I used to do Needham. I did Hyde Park. Dude, hey, listen, Mark, you know how hard it is? By the way, do you know how hard it is to get into this business?
I can only imagine.
So you have to kiss a lot of asses. A lot of asses. So when you got to go, so Lynn TV, bro, this is a big deal for me.
What you got to do.
Yeah, this is a big deal for me.
So I'm just leaving Little Tony's in Norwood.
Little Tony's.
Yeah. Forget about the pizza. Pizza is unbelievable. It's just incredible.
You said this to me before. So I did. All right. So again, I know the Norwood area. Okay? I know
you do.
So like, where do I go now? You know, like whenever I go out that way now, it's when I go Norwood, it's my few spots. I always mention Lewis's. I always mention Conrad's. Yeah. I've done Napper Tandy's a million times.
Yeah.
So like, what's the new stuff? Like, give me something new in Norwood.
The Boston Tavern's not that old. That's pretty good.
That's the old Mad Maggie's, right?
Yeah, old Mad Maggie's, exactly.
I loved Mad Maggie's, man. Huh?
Yeah, that was
they had good pizza.
Was the best. They really did. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you want to talk edible, I took an edible a couple of years ago, and I tell you what, dude, I didn't think I was coming back. It was they call it a rope. I don't know. I took a piece of it and was like, oh my god!
Well, here's the deal.
That was the end.
Not to be all weed college guy on you, but when you do edibles, it goes through your liver.
I don't know what it went through.
So when it goes through your it hits you differently. When you smoke flower, it it's different. You know.
I hadn't had a buzz like that in 50 years, so it was too much, honestly.
What about the buzz from Little Tony's?
So the buzz from Little Tony's, you got to get the pizza. The sandwich is unbelievable. It's just amazing.
If I go in there, can I ask for Little Tony?
Of course. Well, Little Tony's a little kid. His father, Big Tony, runs it.
Oh, so if I go in, it's Big Tony?
Big Tony, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to be in that area soon.
Oh, you ought to come in.
I think I will. Well, the problem is Lambert's is right there, and then
come there, and then you forget about Lambert's.
No, dude, Lambert's.
I'm telling you, I've been in really times.
All right, so Little Tony.
I just want to mention real quick. Yeah, Little Tony's. You got to come in.
All right.
You believe me?
Can I tell him Mark in Norwood sent me?
Absolutely.
And he'll know who I'm talking about.
He'll know exactly who you're talking about.
All right.
Hey, real quick on Bill.
Yeah.
I think you nailed it. You said you were a salesman and you were making a lot more money.
Oh, way
but
more.
You decided to go on the radio because that's what you want to do. Yeah. Maybe Bill's the same way. Maybe he doesn't need $30 million. Maybe he's going to college because that's what he wants to do now.
Yeah, but he has money.
No, I'm saying it's not
comparing me and Bill is two different things, bro.
No, I know, but that's not the money that's driving him.
But Bill, yeah. Well, what is it then? If it's what's driving him?
I don't know. I can't pretend to know how Bill Belichick thinks. I thought I wish I did.
You know what I think
just wants to coach football.
I think he has no support system. Like I think that he doesn't have a support system, and everyone just enables him, and now they're all riding his coattails to whatever he's doing next. Because I think he looks at it like, man, I could let all these people down by not getting a job. And I don't think that's part of it, but I don't know. I just wonder sometimes what's going on up there with him.
Well, what do you think about Lombardi? I mean, what's your take on him?
He's a fluffer.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you. By the way, the Fluffer Tears are up on YouTube. I've already had people ask me about what happened tonight. The morning show has already reached out to me about using that stretch call, so get ready for that one in the morning someday. We got Nate in Florida. What's up, Florida? What's up, Nate?
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
I almost called you South Park in Nate, Florida.
So I got a South Park take for you. I think I'm a little bit older than you, but when South Park first came out, like early 2000, I just moved down here. I was in the Tampa area, and they just started putting up these microbreweries and everything. And on Wednesday nights, you would go. You had to get a table at like 6 o'clock. I think the show started like 8 or 9. I can't remember, but it was just a whole event every Wednesday night to watch South Park. It was crazy.
So back in the day, it was huge. I remember when the movie came out. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they had the song that I don't even want to try because I think I will swear. But it was the Canadians, right?
Did it have to do with uncles?
Yes. Shut your face.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Shut your face, Mr. Uncle.
We're getting too close, yeah.
But yes, that was huge. I remember that. Now we have... Those used to be watch parties. Like I'm sure like your wives used to have like Tupperware and Avon parties. Remember all those things?
Yep. But
now what do we have? Now what do we do?
It was bigger than a sporting event. I mean, the place I'm telling you had to get there at 6. It was sold out. It was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable because everything was new at that time. The controversial cartoon, the microbrewery.
I mean, who killed Kenny?
Exactly.
That's what it was all about. Thanks, Nate. All right, we're going to take a couple more here, then we're going to pause, and we got to get you to the beefs because something happened this week. Nick is in the car. Nick.
Hey, Joe, what's going on, man?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, so you were talking about places in Norwood earlier. Have you ever been to Stashes in Norwood?
Yeah. I've been to Stashes in across from Franklin Park, and there used to be one in Rosendale, but the owners, I've been there.
I feel like you're down on it. Is that the same Stashes that's in Norwood?
Oh, I love Stashes. It's great. It's just the guy wasn't great.
Oh, no. I mean, you had the steak tip sub and the...
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Steak tip sub is second to none, in my opinion.
Oh, bro, it's great.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, I mean, I like
Stashes. Google the guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. I don't know that you may have kind of put a sour on my Stashes experience. I'm a little bummed I called in.
Hey, is Acapulco still going strong out there?
Yes, that's not that far away.
They're still solid, man. Fajitas, little burritos. Place is solid.
Is that the move now that Stashes is canceled?
Well, it's just that I think if I was going to get, like, steak tips, I would go to Lewis's or Conrad's.
All right. Good tips, Joe. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, basically the guy that owns Stashes, just Google it. I'm not even going to talk about it. And the reason why I'm mad is because MJ's Pizza used to run the lot in Rossi. All right? And then Stashes came in. And the guy would take up the whole street on Iona. And my friend lived there, and I couldn't get to his house because the guy had to park on the curb and take up the whole street. And then come to find out the guy was not nice. Anthony in New Hampshire. Hi, Anthony.
Hey, Joe. How you doing? Big night tonight on this show, man.
Told you.
I wanted to give everyone's given their dinner take about where they're going out, but I had a night in. So I did shaved ribeye, steak and cheese with fried onions. I don't know if you ever done the shaved ribeye.
So how'd you shave it?
Top notch.
Just real. Okay, we got in a minute or so. How'd you cook this thing?
Okay, so the shaved ribeye from your local Shaw's and Star Market. I know they're a sponsor of Sports Hub, so my son works there. They have it. They have the ribeye already shaved. And the way I do it, and I know that I might get flack for this, but I caramelize the onions, and then I throw the steak in with the onions. I know a lot of people don't like to do that.
No, it's good. Okay.
Yeah, some people don't. I like it like that. It gives it more flavor, a little garlic, salt, pepper on top of that. And then I use provolone tonight for a cheese.
Provolone.
Melted that. Yeah, melted that right on top. But the star of the meal is, I don't know if you like asparagus, but I did asparagus, olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper in the oven. In my town here in New Hampshire, this woman has a beehive, and she does a local honey.
Oh.
Yep. She does a local honey, cinnamon honey, and at the end of cooking the asparagus, you do like a teaspoon or two, drizzle on top, put it back in the oven, and it glazes. Yep. I ate the whole bushel. Of asparagus. Yep. That was my dinner.
Thank you, Anthony. Pause. I don't know. I don't know if we got enough time. I think we got to take a break. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Temperatures are dropping and winter's right around the corner. Fix that leaky roof, install those new windows or siding. Better call Beantown Home Improvements for a
So we have rats in movie theaters, and we have people upset with me about propane. Mr. Incredible was an insurance adjuster. One of my buddies ate weed-laced Cheetos and didn't realize the whole bag was 100 milligrams. Freaked out. We told him to either ride it out or puke.
100 mil, that's rookie numbers.
Somebody said they're ordering them right now. I don't know what. Stretch in Mattapan still has me laughing. I'm pretty sure someone just ripped a blunt and did a play-by-play of it while talking to Joe Murray live on air. I started listening to sports radio when I was 6 years old. That's got to be a top 10 Boston sports radio moment of all time. Shout out to Stretch. Every time I listen to your show, I get hungry. As a daily listener, I'm glad I got to hear this live. Joe, you did say it was going to get weird tonight. Tweet the podcast link later. They're upset that they missed it. The Colonial in Norwood is great. Hungover at a sub shot. Do you go hot or cold sub? Hot, baby. You need that grease after been drinking, right? Oh, and listen, there's all McDonald's, bro. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I was always a big Taco Bell guy after drinking.
Oh.
Like 6 soft tacos would get like destroyed.
6?
Oh, I would just like
How do you
inhale
do it?
them.
Sometimes I used to go 3 hard, 3 soft.
I've done that before too, yeah.
Hey, we got In a Row coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
If you need tires, think Town Fair Tire. Thinking name brands? We have them all. Thinking price? We beat the competitors. Free services? We have those too. For the guaranteed lowest.
I guess who can we put up against her? Does Jason Tatum or anybody? I'm just who won championships? Who won a championship? Patrick Mahomes. He's been down this year though. Okay, she wins. NBA, I guess there's really no. Baseball? Shohei.
Yeah.
Shohei. He had like the greatest game ever.
First 50-50.
And they won a champion.
Too early, I would say.
Fine. She's in. And fine. And fine. Fine. In.
All right, let's move over to the comedy side. Comedian Nikki Glaser, who made a name for herself at the Tom Brady roast. She's up in Concord, New Hampshire tonight at the Palace. Are you in or out on that? Would you go see Nikki Glaser, I guess?
I'm in. But is this what she does now? She's a touring...
I think she was doing this before. Like, she's been doing this, right?
So, why Concord, not Boston?
That is, no, I when I saw where she was playing tonight, I was like, that's a weird venue.
Like, would I drive on a Friday night to Concord, New Hampshire to see Nikki Glaser? No. Out.
I mean, Concord's a drive for me, and I'm right there at the southern tip of New Hampshire, right there, by Salem.
But let me tell you something. I think she would wow you. She'd say some really raunchy things, and like imagine. Okay, let's use an example, Jeff. Your daughter's now over 18, right? She's an adult. Imagine sitting with your daughter listening to her do stand-up. How uncomfortable would you be?
It would probably be more uncomfortable for my daughter than it would be for me, actually.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Then for her. This woman talks about bodily fluids all the time. You saw her at the roast?
Yes.
So I think it would be worth the ride. But she's doing Concord, not by... She's a big name.
Yeah, she was pretty well known before the roast, but that kind of like elevated her really high up there.
She was on Jimmy Kimmel last night. I'm in on her. What was her deal before? She's 40 years old. I didn't know that. Wow. But why would I know this woman, by the way? Blind date, yeah. Oh, yeah, she did that F-Boy Island thing. Okay, what else do we have tonight?
All right, so let's go over to the world of wrestling. Now, Netflix is getting everything come January 1st. So the WWE Network as we know it, whether it be on Peacock or internationally, as it's still its own entity, is going to be gone. Word out of the Observer, they're not going to be adding any of the older WWF, WCW stuff, Mid-South, etc.
So the new
basically
Netflix,
because nobody was watching it.
The new Netflix will. So what you're telling me is the new Netflix will only be a premium live event viewing.
Yeah, and like newer programming, I believe.
So if I want to watch Starrcade 1989, I won't be able to access that on Netflix?
No. From what's being told.
So they gave us the WWE Network, which was absolute gold.
And it like basically it was before Paramount Plus, HBO Max, all that stuff. They were the first ones to do it.
Then it became Peacock. And watching the cock just is like awful. I don't like it. They do have their own WWE section, which is good.
Yes, but the way the network had it all laid out, it was like so much better, and you could like skip ahead to like certain matches. You could never do that on Peacock.
I mean, here's the deal. Triple H and them probably did a really good financial deal here, so they'll take whatever they get. As long as it's premium live event, for us, we don't have to buy pay-per-view. We still get it. More people will access it on Netflix. I hope we don't get a Tyson thing, though. Right? I've had some stream issues with WrestleMania before.
See, I don't remember having many of them, especially when it first started.
Many no. You're right.
Nothing like the issue that Tyson and Paul had.
I will say this to our listeners who maybe, you guys watch wrestling. Tomorrow night on NBC. So NBC, Channel 10 locally if you have Xfinity, you'll be able to watch Saturday Night Main Event. It's you probably remember this from the 80s, right? Jesse Ventura was a part of it. Here it is. Tomorrow night, they are bringing back Saturday Night's Main Event, and they are going hard. You're going to see the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, one of the biggest feuds going on right now. Who else are you going to see tomorrow night? Gunther, right?
Yes.
He's going to be there. So some of the big names, Seth Rollins will be there. Maybe you get a CM Punk sighting. I mean, he shut down the T-shirt thing years ago, if you remember that. I stand by that. So tomorrow night, guys, Saturday Night Main Event. For all you people who crap all over wrestling, watch tomorrow night and crap all over wrestling. And we'll talk about it on Monday. I'm excited for this, by the way.
I am too, for the nostalgic purposes, and it's a pretty loaded card.
I remember the Rockers once on a Saturday Night Main Event won the championship, but with that, when I watched Saturdays, they didn't win.
The rope broke.
Yes! Could we get that? Do we get the Winged Eagle belt?
Oh, that's absolutely coming out with Cody.
Well, it's coming back. And people in our chat, Jesse the Body Ventura. Yes, he's back. Wasn't a Vince guy. I guess not.
Vince is gone. Now I'm back.
Yeah. The governor. All right, what else we got in or out?
All right, so I was just working out in New York City for the last week and a half in Manhattan, and working out there was just a totally different experience from working out here in Boston. So many people, but what amazed me was seeing big families walking around. How do you need to be a certain type of person to raise a family in Manhattan of all places? So are you in or out? Could you ever live in Manhattan?
No, never. No. And you know what's funny is Boston Radio Watch has picked up our show tonight.
He's always listening.
Thank you, Boston Radio Watch. At least we didn't do anything. At least we just had a guy smoking a joint on the air, which is the best. What were we talking about again?
Living in Manhattan.
Oh, no. All right. I don't want to offend anybody, but when I walk through Manhattan, it is nice. I mean, it's nice. But there's trash everywhere. It smells. And I hate walking. Sums it up, right? Excuse me. And you can't Uber anywhere.
No, it was brutal. I had to drive my work truck everywhere.
Only thing I do like, though, is they got some late night food.
The food there was the best part.
Any street food?
No, I didn't touch any street food. I just went to Mama Two's for pizza. That was probably the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
Mama Two's. Why is it Mama Two's?
I have no idea.
Was there a Mama One?
I couldn't find Mama One, so I found Mama Two's.
What else we got today?
All right, last one. I've been on a concert kick lately. I just recently bought tickets to see the band The Used. Are you familiar with them, Joe?
I like The Used. Didn't that guy date Osborne girl?
Yes, Kelly, yep.
Yeah. That was the first reality TV show ever.
Yes.
Right. I mean, was there anything else that you could think of that was true reality?
I mean, the real world.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Road Rules.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But
all MTV
I'm
shows.
talking Family House. The brother there. Didn't he have some issues?
Yes, he had some drug issues afterwards. I believe Kelly did too. Who knows?
But do you think it had to do with their life being exposed to everybody and their dad being, I don't know, Ozzy Osbourne?
And Sharon.
That had nothing to do with it, right? It was the drugs. Go ahead. What were we talking about?
All right, so I just got tickets to The Used. It's not just one show. It's 3 separate shows. They're playing their first 3 albums in their entirety. They're opening self-titled on one night and so on and so forth. I've been going to a lot of concerts lately, and that's been a recurring theme with some bands where they'll do an anniversary tour and they'll just play that whole album in its entirety. Are you in or out on that?
I haven't. Okay. I went to a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert about 3 years ago, and John Frusciante was not the guitarist, and I was pissed. And they played 2 nights, and the nights that they played was like the Aeroplane album, and like, you know, and I was like, no, I want the good stuff. I left early because I couldn't do the non-John Frusciante. And it wasn't, I didn't know who the guy was, by the way. Who's the guy from Jane's Addiction that got punched this year? Why am I forgetting this guy?
I can't think of his name either.
Oh my God, come on. He filled in on the damn Aeroplane song. Why does this happen?
Carmelo Electric is, what's her name? Husband,
yes, you're right. Dave Navarro. Pissed me off. I didn't want to tell my story. So how do I feel about bands that use specialized nights for their albums? Like one night Weezer would do the blue, then the green, and then...
So I saw Weezer recently, and they opened up, like their first half of the show was like, you know, some hits and stuff like that mixed in. Then they did a couple Pinkerton songs. Then they did the entirety of the Blue album, which was awesome. I saw Seven Dust. Seven Dust did Seasons all in its entirety.
You see my face and then you... I loved Seven Dust.
I've seen them so many times. I'm seeing them again coming up.
Great singer.
They're so good live.
The Used is one night for me. I don't need 3 nights of The Used. Then I'm being used. Out. We got John Serenides. He's of New England Football Journal, and he's coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Give the purple.
All right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. It's Friday the 13th, everybody, so it's been one of those nights tonight. Let's go to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline right now. We'll welcome in John Serenides. He is from New England Football Journal. John, happy Friday the 13th to you, sir.
Happy Friday, Joseph. How are you?
It's been a wild one tonight, my man.
I can only imagine.
We had, well, I know you had stomping grounds once in Norwood, and I've had people trying to tell me to go to Little Tony's. You ever been to Little Tony?
I have never been to Little Tony's, no.
Yeah, me either.
But they're telling you to go there?
Yeah, they say, Joe, go to Norwood. And then some guy told me to go to Stash's, but I don't like the owner.
Stash is actually pretty good, though.
Oh, it's very good.
It's pretty good. You know, I had dinner tonight at Conrad's, which is also in Norwood, but I had dinner at the Foxborough location.
Did you get steak tips?
You know what I got? The steak tip calzone.
What do you dip your steak tip calzone in, or do you put any sauce on it at all?
You know what? Honestly, man, their steak tip calzone is so good that you don't really need to dip it in anything. If it were a normal steak and cheese calzone, I'm a ranch blue cheese guy.
I love Conrad's. I was going there for a very long time. We used to do Napper Tandy's after.
Napper Tandy's is a good spot.
It was open till like 1 a.m., I think, out there.
It is.
So, well, you guys had a Super Bowl, huh?
We did.
Not to bring up the bad stuff, but you competed, though.
We did. Look, first of all, congratulations to CM. Great program. Obviously, John DiBiase was a legend. Yeah, and you just hit the nail on the head. The kids played hard. We competed. I don't pull any punches. And I think, my partners in New England Football Journal would agree. That's the best program in New England. They're not even just the best program in Massachusetts. So, pound for pound, I'd put them up against anybody in New England. And, I think, look, our kids competed. They hung in there. But cream always rises, Joe.
So, a lot of people here might not know, but Catholic Memorial was this, or still is this hockey school. It's it's from my area, so a lot of my friends were hockey players, and their football team was always on the back burner. They made the move for DiBiase, and now look with them. They're right back-to-back championships. I don't want to compare what's happened there with their coach and their program, but is this something I think that maybe North Carolina could be looking at, bringing in Bill Belichick? And the reason why I'm starting with the North Carolina angle, they're firing a 73-year-old guy for a 72-year-old guy. So I almost wonder if they're desperate to get their program back up and going. Also, while Bill Belichick's desperate because he can't get a job.
Well, I think North Carolina for a long time has wanted to be good at football. And they've always been labeled a basketball school. But I genuinely think when you look through the years, the administration there has wanted to be good in football. And I think they saw an opportunity, and Belichick was obviously willing to meet with them and listen. They put a package together that appealed to him. He's going to have the control that he wouldn't have in the NFL. It's the control he wants, despite the fact that he was trying to play nicey nice last offseason, saying he didn't necessarily need to have control. He knows the control he had with the Patriots he was never going to have again in the NFL, but you could have it in college. And so ultimately, once he gleaned that the interest wasn't there from owners around the league, he made the decision that, hey, it might be time for me and my buddies to go coach college football and see if we can get a program to bring us in. And North Carolina wanted to make a splash. They want to be good. I think if you're North Carolina, you see the expanded playoff, you see NIL, the booster money is there, the NIL money is there. Why not take a shot with Belichick, see if he can win you an ACC title, get you into the 12-team playoff, and see what happens from there. I think short term, it's a great move for North Carolina. Long term, to be determined. I don't know how long he'll stay. He said all the right things yesterday, but he is 72. Does he coach all 5 years of that contract? Probably not. But I think at the end of the day, it's a win-win for both sides. I think Belichick read the tea leaves. He knew he wasn't probably going to get a job in the NFL this offseason. He saw this as an opportunity to coach, and he's back in coaching.
So obviously you saw the buyout stuff. If he leaves now before June, he's $10 million, but after that, it's $1 million. I think they're both using each other, but in a good way, right? One helps get their program back up and going. The other might get interest back in Bill Belichick. So there have been coaches hired at 73 before. Who's it? Romeo Crennel was 73.
In Iraq.
Yeah, right. And I don't know. I just think about college. Bill Snyder was 80 years old when he left Kansas State. So I'm not really going to put age into this equation here because, whether it's this year, next year, whenever, I think Bill still has a shot. And I think he looks at it and says, I feel good. I saw these guys coach until 80. Why can't I?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, this doesn't mean that the door's closed on the NFL. And a lot of people have looked at it that way. And I think that that's silly. And it's not to say, look, when you look at their schedule, they could very easily win 9 to 10 games next year. If, let's say, he coaches there a year, they go 9-4, 10-3. Let's say they win the ACC and end up in the 12-team playoff. There'll be teams interested in bringing him back to the NFL. I think he sees this as an opportunity to get back on the field, rehab his image. It's a new challenge. He's always been a guy that wants to be challenged. He's never coached college. This is his opportunity. And look, we're talking about a guy who has always said that when his coaching career in the NFL or in football is over, that he would be perfectly content coaching high school lacrosse. That's who this guy is. He's a coach's coach. He's a junkie. He loves this stuff. You know what? Again, not surprised that he took this job. But to your point, Joe, he sees it as an opportunity to rehab his image, get his career back on track, and potentially be back in the NFL as early as next offseason.
All right, we're talking with John Serenides, New England Football Journal. The Patriots were on a bye. They now go on the road to Arizona. I think the Pats have a shot this week. I don't like their next 4 games. I think there is a chance for them to lose all 4 games. But I think Kyler Murray is struggling, and if you look back, his December numbers show it. He is averaging over 2 turnovers a game. Do you think the defense has learned enough with a week off to prepare for a mobile quarterback and also the explosive offense that they have? But I do think Drake May can, attack that defense of Arizona. So I like the Patriots plus the 6.5 this week.
Yeah, I think this is their best shot to win another game this season because, as you mentioned, after this week, you got Buffalo. At Buffalo, you come back home for the last 2 against the Chargers and the Bills again. So, I mean, unless Buffalo has clinched a playoff spot in the last game of the regular season and they're playing for nothing and they sit their starters, this is probably your best shot at winning a game. And look, Arizona has scuffled. They've lost 3 in a row. They're not the same team they were a month ago. This is a game that the Patriots can win. I think it's imperative that they get off to a good start. They need to score first, carry the play, put a little bit of pressure on them. To your point about Kyler Murray, the defense has to do a much better job in terms of communication and run fits. They got to keep him in the pocket. But I think if the staff put a good plan together and the Patriots can do those things, they absolutely have a good shot at going out there and winning this game. And look, with 2 weeks to prepare, you should be well rested. You're about as healthy as you're going to be this time of year. As long as the coaching and the plan is in place and the players execute, I like them too at that number. I think that they can cover that number, and I think they can win on the road this week.
All right, John, here's my hot take. I've been holding it and air frying it. Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, was successful, won a Super Bowl. Bill Belichick has now been fired, has a job again in North Carolina. The Patriots are still the Patriots with Gerard Mayo. I think if we look at it right now, you had Robert Kraft let go of both Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and has nothing. He has Gerard Mayo now. And I just feel like maybe if this Belichick thing is successful, could it motivate Robert Kraft to spend money, maybe get the right coach here? This is just a take. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. It's more of I hope it's motivation for Kraft because in the end, Kraft lost both. And I think Kraft looks the worst of the 3 of them right now.
Yeah, and I think that that's fair. In regards to Gerard Mayo's future and whether or not they'll hire another coach, I still think he gets another year. There's no way that the Krafts are going to eat this and seek a mea culpa and say, we were wrong, we picked the wrong guy, let's fix it and hire the right guy. They're not going to do that. I think he gets a second year. Now, the question is, what do they do this offseason? How do they improve the roster? What do they put around Drake May? Does Drake May continue to develop? All of those are going to be questions that need to be answered this offseason and next season. If they cannot be answered next season, and let's say this team finishes 6-11 and only improves by 2 games, yeah, I could see the Kraft saying, you know what, we were wrong. He's not the guy. We're moving on. We need to get the guy that can take this thing to the next level. But they're not going to make that decision after one season. I would be shocked if they were willing to admit that they were wrong, assuming they even think they're wrong, and move on from Gerard Mayo. And in fairness to Gerard Mayo, I don't think you can only give him 1 year and assess him, especially when it comes to the fact that this was a bridge year anyway. I think anybody that knows the organization and their current state had to know this was a bridge year. It's more about 2025 and beyond.
Well, wait until Bill Belichick gets into the Hall of Fame next year and Robert Kraft doesn't.
Oh, that'll be something. I mean, at the rate that it's going, he is probably going to get in before Kraft. Brady and him will get in before Kraft.
Mm-hmm. College football playoff stuff. Do you think they got it right? And I'm really looking forward to some of these first-round matchups here. But, you know, Ryan Day was told he's going to be back. Do you think James Franklin is back at Penn State next year?
I do. They made the playoff, and if they were to win a round, he's definitely back. But even if they don't, even if they lose next week, I still think he's back. I just think in this day and age, Joe, first of all, it's late in the game to be making a coaching change. That's one thing. But the other thing is, excuse me, he's a proven recruiter, and he's done a really good job recruiting talent there. They've been in the Big Ten title hunt. They made the inaugural 12-team playoff. I don't see how you can move off of him. I think I don't see how you can find someone who'd be better for that program than him. So I don't see them making a move. As far as Ohio State is concerned, kind of think that they've been backed in a corner of the administration there, and they either had to poop or get off the pot. They either had to support Day, regardless of his 1-4 record against Michigan, or they had to let this thing play out and make a decision after the season. I didn't think that they were comfortable or ready to do that. So ultimately, they made the decision to support him. I think he gets another year. But, yeah, I wouldn't move on from James Franklin if I were Penn State.
All right, man. You going to watch Saturday night's main event tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. You know, when you think about the old school music, when they were doing the promo for the show, it's fantastic. Can't wait. It's long overdue. It should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. So it'll be a balancing act. Don't forget, 8 p.m., you also have the Heisman Trophy presentation. So might be a DVR, go over, see who wins the Heisman, and come back over.
You know, John, people are going to tell me to do this on my own time, so I'll do it right now with you. Hypothetically, say the Patriots get a top 3 pick. Well, they're not a QB-needy team, right?
Yep.
Who would be the first person off the board, position player? Your thoughts?
First position player off the board?
Yep.
You mean who would go first overall?
For the Patriots.
Oh, for the Patriots?
Yeah, okay. Hypothetically, let's say the first 2 teams. Let's say the Patriots get the 3rd pick. Let me set that up again. Well, the teams that are ahead of them would need quarterbacks. Giants and whoever else. The Raiders. The Patriots would be 3. So 2 quarterbacks come off the board. Who's the first non-quarterback to get drafted?
It will all depend on how much they like these linemen. I mean, if they're going best player available, obviously it's got to be Travis Hunter because he can come in and literally fill 2 positions. But it depends on how much they like these offensive linemen. My feeling is this. Those offensive linemen are not going to be the best player on the board there. If you, let's say, take a Will Campbell or you trade down and you take one of those other tackles, that's one thing. But if you pass on Travis Hunter or, let's say, Will Johnson, you're passing on 2 pretty damn good football players. So you'll have to have a lot of conviction in that room, to quote Mike Mayock, to stick and pick and take a Will Campbell. You're going to have to really believe that he can be a franchise offensive lineman, because otherwise, if you're staying at that pick, you got to take either a Hunter or a Will Johnson or maybe a McMillan, a Tetratola McMillan. So it'll be an interesting scenario.
Last thing, Jeff mentioned to me that he's going to see a band called The Used, and they're playing multiple nights but different albums. How do you feel about bands who do that, and would you go see Metallica if they just had an album per night show.
I did. I have seen them do that in 2012 in New Jersey at the Orion Festival. Night one, they played Ride the Lightning. Night two, they played the entire Black Album, and they played them both backwards. So they started from the back of the album and went backwards. So I have seen Metallica do that.
And it was great?
It was phenomenal. It was, first of all, it was at an old airfield in Atlantic City. Me and my wife went. Fantastic, fantastic show. I ended up, night one, this guy who was high out of his mind. He wouldn't leave us alone. He just kept coming over. I was air drumming, air guitar, and going nuts, sweating through my T-shirt, went through a stick of deodorant. But this guy was high as a kite. I ended up having to basically body slam him away from me. My wife got pictures of me and him. It was out of control.
So in on the concert, out on like a high guy.
Out on the high guy, because for me, when I go to Metallica, it's all business. I'm all in on the show. I'm all in air guitar and headbanging, air drumming.
Yeah.
I don't got time for alcohol. I don't got time for drugs.
Yeah, I went to a Tool concert once, and somebody wanted to mosh with me. And I wasn't having it. And my buddy Jimmy goes, if you mosh me, I'm going to punch you in the face. So the guy moshed him, and my buddy Jimmy punched him in the face. And so and then he got all pissed, and I go, well, dude, he told you he's going to punch you in the face. So out on Tool concerts and bumping into me.
Well, here's the other thing. But is Tool really a mosh band?
No, that's my whole problem. You're basically the high guy who does nothing.
All right. Like, I've seen them 4 times. They're not a mosh band.
No, they're not.
It's really a stand there, absorb the music, absorb the light show, the weirdness of the background on and the light show. Maynard's voice. Where is Maynard? You're trying to find Maynard. Is he in the front? Is he in the back?
Is he wearing a diaper?
Right. Whereas if you go to Metallica, there's multiple mosh pits all over the place. Especially for me, having seen them at an airfield or having seen them at Boston Calling. There's multiple mosh pits going on, but that's different. That's Metallica. They're the ultimate mosh pit band. But yeah, Tool is more of a quasi-psychedelic, absorb the show type experience. You're not moshing at Tool.
Yeah, it bothered me. I'm glad it wasn't me who punched him in the face.
No, it bothers me too, and I wasn't even there. I mean, I saw them last November. Me and my buddy, who was a diehard Tool fan, he wasn't moshing. Nobody moshes. It's just not that. That's not what you go there for.
The only band that might get me off my chair these days is if I could get Rage Against the Machine, I think. I've never seen them live. Yeah, I've never seen them live either. I mean, I've been to over 100 shows, but I've never seen them live. I don't know why. I'm just trying to think of a band that would get me out of my seat, and they might be the only one.
See, I'm not a sit-down guy at shows. So for me, I'm Metallica. I mean, there's no chance in hell that I'm sitting. And if I'm sitting, it's because I'm taking a break or they're transitioning into another song, and there's a little bit of a break, and I need to take 2 minutes to catch my breath, wipe the brow, and get back up. But,
so you're air guitar over air drum?
See, I blend a lot. It depends on the song, but I blend a lot. I'll start air guitar, transition to air drum, back to air guitar. Yeah, I go back and forth. Plus, I have my signature Metallica M that I do with my both hands. There's a lot going on with me at a Metallica show.
A little slap into the bass.
It's kind of embarrassing.
A little slap of the bass, too?
Oh, yeah. I'll give Robert Trujillo some love. A little bass, but it's mostly transitioning air guitar to air drum. But again, it depends on the song and the set list, because I study set lists before I go to Metallica shows, so I know what to expect.
You're smart.
You have to do it, man. Like, I knew night 2 this year. Told my wife 2 years ago when we saw them at Boston Calling, they opened with Whiplash. I knew they were going to open up night 2 with Whiplash. They did. You've got to be a student of the game, Joe. You've got to be a student of the game. It's all about preparation and attention to detail.
All right, John. Thanks for calling.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And for those of you out there that plan on going to Tool the next time they're in town, don't mosh. It's not a mosh show.
No. He's John Serenides. He's New England Football Journal. John, appreciate your time, man. Happy holidays, bro.
Peace, my brother. Always good talking to you, my man.
You got it. Take care. He's John Serenides, everybody. Do you agree with his methods of moshing?
Yeah, because night one of Metallica, we were pretty close to one side of the stage. I was on mushrooms. I was having the time of my life.
Yes, I saw you the next day because you were like, dude, I had the best night of my life.
It was amazing.
You were here, and then you were going to night 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember this.
But night one, everybody's like, if you're that close to the stage, everyone's just like headbanging, doing that drumming, air guitaring, blah, blah, blah. My buddy standing next to me, Brian, who's a huge Metallica fan, all of a sudden you see him start getting pushed. And it's this old lady who literally looked like Natalie from The Facts of Life. It was like disgusting. Was trying to mosh with him, and he had to scream. And he's a timid kid. Like, he doesn't really look for trouble. He was screaming at her to back the F off.
Whoa.
And finally everything got cooled down. But it's like, if you want to go mosh, it's right over there.
Okay, I've seen Metallica a bunch, but the last mental time that I can remember, like physically being there, I think it was Summer Sanitarium. It was the Saint Anger album just came out. It was a 95.
All three, yeah.
That's the one that I've been to plenty after. Like I had to suffer through Godsmack once to watch Metallica.
I did too.
And then know what they did? They brought out drums so Sully could play versus James.
Did you? He went up on the air too. He did the whole Tommy Lee gimmick,
and I was pissed. For those who don't know, Godsmack is an Alice in Chains song, and they ripped off Alice in Chains. Everyone that the album cover of the Godsmack album, The Sun. That was drawn by Lane Staley, who is the lead singer of Alice in Chains. So, I could keep going and going and going, but there is a YouTube link that you could type in Godsmack biggest ripoff of Alice in Chains, and you could just let them tell you. Because if I tell you I'm biased, right? I'm the biased jerk who likes Alice in Chains. But, they have I Stay Away, I Stand Alone, right? I mean, do you want me to keep going? Because I will, damn it.
You have before, Joe.
Biggest ripoff of all time, Godsmack. Ooh. I'm not the one who stole all the lyrics and I can't write my own. We got to go to break. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Patriots getting ready for the Cardinals this weekend. Baseball trades today. A couple have happened. I don't know why, but I felt like Godsmack was coming back for some reason.
I wouldn't do that to you, Joe.
So, I don't know what happened. I don't really know how it happened. But I guess I've just been associated with North Shore roast beefs because I live on the North Shore now. I'm from Boston, but now I live on the North Shore. And one of the biggest things, and I probably got into detail about this with Fred one day because I was just trying to say that once you cross the Tobin Bridge, there's a beef shop everywhere. I'm not kidding about that. It really is a big deal. It really is a big deal. It's a big deal. And I am not the beef king. There is a man named Andy Ferg, everybody. He runs the North Shore Beefs. He even has a business. And while it was featured, I believe, on Channel 5 this week, is that where this was? So let's hear a little bit about North Shore Beefs in their nice little piece that was done on television, Channel 5. Let's start it off, Jeff.
This is the most important part of the thing. If you don't take the right picture,
We're just a bunch of teenage girls at the end of the day.
It's a gathering of the devout.
What do you estimate? I'm going to go with 1 pound, 4 ounces.
Taking their measure of the meat.
102.
Oh, 102 is a warm beef.
Before the sacred moment of consecration.
Cheers, boys.
Tick, boom.
The North Shore Roast Beef Sandwich. An object that inspires a worship unmatched by any other food in New England.
It's the greatest sandwich to ever exist.
The classic North Shore beef is a ball of thin-sliced rare roast beef on a toasted roll, ordered 3-way with cheese, mayo, and James River barbecue sauce.
Nothing comes close to it. It makes me happy. It makes me fat. I can't stop eating them. I've probably had thousands in my life.
Andy Ferg of Danvers loves the beef so much, he started a Facebook page, North Shore Beefs, with more than 40,000 members. Users post reviews of their latest sandwich using a specific rating system. Videos of ritual annihilation are also available to those with a strong stomach.
It's not a polite sandwich, not a dainty sandwich. It's a messy sandwich, and it's ours. There's nowhere else you can get a North Shore beef, which is what I love most about it.
Visitors to the Facebook page should be prepared for a heaping side order of attitude, talking beef, busting chops.
That's how we are. We're edgy. We're a little crazy, a little batty about a certain sandwich.
Who knew Burlington? Burlington, right? We knew. I knew. Drumtown knew. Come by the liquor store. Get in the car.
We are not jerks in real life. We pretend to be jerks. Whereas a lot of people pretend to be nice and are actually jerks. We do just the opposite. It is, I would take the shirt off my back for you, but I'm going to call you fat when you're putting my shirt on. Because that's just how we are.
Tonight, Ferg has gathered a murderous row of remorseless meat eaters at Londy's Roast Beef and Pizza in Peabody.
There's no fork and knife here. No. You can't use a fork and knife. You got to dig in, hit the trenches when you're having a beef.
Danny Gillis, a.k.a. the Malden Muffler, is a lifer.
I started eating beef. They started feeding to me as a toddler with the baby teeth. And I've just been kicking it ever since. It's my deathbed meal. Deathbed meal.
Behind the counter, Ted Londy is the architect behind every towering masterpiece that goes out, jealously guarding his slicer.
So if you cut too thick, it's going to be different. If you got too thin, it's going to be mushy. So you got to be, you got to be perfect. I don't trust my wife either. So,
The communities north of Boston boast an embarrassment of beefing opportunities, sometimes 3 or 4 shops to a town.
It is so hyper-local to just this area, from Newburyport to Revere and a little bit west to like Woburn and Burlington. That is it. There's nowhere else you can get a North Shore beef.
The phenomenon, which is North Shore roast beef, is sometimes measured against the popularity of the South Shore's bar pizza. Ferg chokes on the comparison.
It's a pizza. There's pizza everywhere. They put it in a different pan. Congratulations. We're very proud of you. We're making a sandwich that no one else in the world has, and you act like you're on the same level as the North Shore beef. It's a joke. It's comical to me.
Meanwhile, down in the beef bunker, deep in the basement of his Danvers home, Ferg stores piles of North Shore Beef's merch. The bunker is also headquarters for his weekly podcast with buddy Mike Wendt. Ferg is aware that from the outside, it may all seem a bit excessive.
It's very culty. It's very culty. I am the David Koresh of beefs, I guess. Okay. A lot of passionate red meat fans out there. We know we're going to get emails and social media posts because we may not have included you.
All right, screw this. So that's the North Shore Beef segment. We didn't even interrupt it. That was good. I like how he said that we're a bunch of jerks live, but behind your back, we're really nice guys.
Yeah.
Instead of being fake to be nice guys that are really jerks.
He's not wrong because I know a bunch of guys in that group, and like they are like really nice guys in person.
Ferg's been to my house. Like he's a good dude. So what I liked was the Malden muffler. What's all that about?
I have no idea. I can only imagine.
It's his deathbed meal. Oh, we have lines of where you can beef. Newburyport to Revere, and then as far as Woburn to Burlington. So that there's lines of demarcation. The bar pizza is just pizza in a pan. Great line.
He's not wrong.
The beef bunker, where they have all their T-shirts, and that he is the David Koresh of beefs. Shout out to Andy Ferg, North Shore Beefs. I'm Joe Murray. Let's just break headline musings. Coming up next on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
night is wild song.
Back here, 98.5, the Sports Hub. This song makes me want to go lock myself in a room, shut my phone off, and cry.
You don't understand.
I will say this, though. I did think this guy was talented. Like, this dude had everyone singing his songs together. Like, he could do a concert and everyone's just singing the songs. He doesn't have to. So it's kind of sneaky. You know how we just did, like, Time Person of the Year conversation? You know, if we go back from, what it would be, 2000 and now it would be 25 years? How does that work, actually?
Yeah.
So from 2000 to now would be 24 years? How does the zero count as a year, damn it? Or would 2025 be 25 years? Since 1999. Let's just do that.
Okay.
Okay? Who are the... Well, geez. Now I got to shorten the area, I guess. But when it comes to music, who's been the most consistent and successful person since 1999? Or band?
Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably say Beyonce, too, because Destiny's Child was a thing in 1999.
You're right. When did Adele come out?
That was late, like mid-2000s, 07, 06.
Best group? Best music of the... I'm just like, I'm curious if they're going to do this. You know how they do these year-end things? Well, there is a top 25 years best albums last 25 years. Did the Foo Fighters have a top album over the last 25 years? Do you know who might? And you might not like this. Green Day.
No, I'm a Green Day guy.
American Idiot was a great album.
Yeah, I love American Idiot. When I just saw them, they played Dookie and American Idiot in their entirety.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you mentioned Foo Fighters as far as rock and roll. Do you think any of their albums you would put up there as they're one of the best?
No, they have like a couple, like maybe one or two hits out of their albums, and that's pretty much it. I can't think of like an all-around album.
I think some people, and I know people don't love Kanye, but he had some really good albums over the last 25 years. And I'm trying to lump in everything as far as music goes, and I went real mainstream off the bat. But best albums over the last 25 years, and I just threw this out here. I'm spitballing. But I'm very curious. Might have to think about that one, huh?
We're seeing Blink-182 in the chat.
Yeah, but they took so much time off, and I don't want to mention Jay-Z. And by the way, Jay-Z's relationship with the Super Bowl is still going on. He's got 100 problems now.
He's got a lot of problems. Yeah, more than 100, I would say.
It can't be Blink. Like, I'm thinking... I'm going to say it's like a Lady Gaga, Beyonce. I'm sure people will put Taylor in there. And I'm going 25 years of music. So is it Taylor Swift? Should I just leave it at that? Like, if we're going to talk about best albums of the last 25 years, what pops in your head? Because, again, American Idiot did pop in my head. I mean, how many people are going out rushing for CDs anymore?
Oh, nobody.
And wanting to hear the whole album. So I am kind of, like, people love Radiohead. I'm not there. I'm not there at all.
I mean, I think Radiohead's best stuff was in the 90s anyway.
Yeah. Outkast. They've kind of, I mean, they haven't done much in a while. Huh. John's in the car. Hey, John.
Joe, you know, that whole music thing lost its ability to be argued when they just dropped everything on Apple overnight and you wake up and it's there.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to go back to the 25 years, because I could at least, you know, my brain still worked in 1999 and 2000, you know, even though it got a little cloudy.
I was my father's drummer, and he was a rock and roll rhythm and blues guy. So I should have been born with Cheap Trick and all those guys. But anyway, I have a food question, Joe. I need a food magistrate, and I couldn't think of a better guy.
Okay, let's do it.
We have a common acquaintance, you and I, one Tommy from Lynn.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So Tommy was at Hockey Town. I am a stellar beer league goalie for the Over 50 Tuesday Night League.
Oh, okay.
And Tommy comes in and says he asked me to buy him a burrito from Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
I buy Tommy the burrito from Chipotle. A $13 burrito costs $28 to get it there across the street.
Oh, yeah.
It goes on my wife's credit card because it went on Uber Eats. I didn't realize my wife's credit card was the last time we used Uber Eats. So I then get the call from her saying, "What are you doing at Uber Eats at 10:30 at night for Hockey Town?" And Tommy's yet to pay me back. So I'm asking for a boycott of Tommy from Lynn until I get my debt paid.
Well, I do know his handler. He has a handler, just so you know. Because he really does. I think Jeff's also seen this. He gets a ride as well. I will speak to the handler about this.
For the record, Joe, I am his handler apparently on Tuesday night because I drive him back and forth to Applebee's.
Oh, okay. So down the road. Okay. So I just live like a couple miles up the road right there.
Yeah, sure, in Peabody. So I am as well. So
okay.
But fair enough. Again, he's a good kid.
I'm not from Peabody, so like I don't know if I'm like west or south. I live near Capone's.
You are right in Central Peabody, my friend.
That's
Speaking of Capone's, if you like lasagna bolognese, they got one of the best around.
Oh no, it's Petrillo's in Peabody. No, it's just that.
Have you tried Capone's, Joe?
Yeah, it's Petrillo's might be the best. The two best in my area, if we're going Boston and North Shore, Reno's and East Boston, Petrillo's.
Yes.
Those are the two best.
Have you tried the shrimp dish at Petrillo's? It's got a little zing to it. It's like
That's another place I walk in and I see the guys. You know, I see Dom, I see Mikey when I walk in. I give Linda a kiss. She rubs my head for an hour, and then and then they feed me galore, and it's the best.
Joe, happy holidays.
Have you been to Polana, by the way?
I have.
I have. Outstanding place.
I just drove by it 5 minutes ago. It's jam-packed.
Well, check out Game Time. It just opened. If you got kids, bowling, pool, it's outstanding. Game Time. It just opened, and I'm going to be doing some stuff with them in 2025.
All right, Joe. We'll be in touch.
Appreciate you, John. Thank you, sir. I'll make sure Tommy pays you back. You've seen that before. We all love Tommy and Lynn, but Tommy came to a remote, and the place that we were at served me food. Unfortunately, we had to have like the broadcast desk on the table, and Kendra was with me. This was when a guy brought us a cake. Do you remember this? A guy brought us a Boston cream cake.
Yes, I do remember this.
So we had that there, but the food we had to move to a table to the right that was reserved. When I looked over, who's eating the food? TFL. So I hope John appreciates this conversation. He tried to do a good deed. It turned into a Uber Eats situation on his wife's credit card. Then he got called for it. No good deed goes unpunished,
Absolutely not.
Andrew's in Louisiana. Jeez. We making it all the way out there tonight?
Joe.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm from Wilmington, and I swear to God, my last name's Petrillo.
Get out of here.
Crap you not. I swear to God.
Dude, it's
Petrillo,
Friday,
Massachusetts.
Friday the 13th, bro.
Can't believe it. I can't believe it. My cousin is Deidre DeGata from Jammin' 98.5. Remember her?
Well, yeah, that's a competitor, but yes, I know who that is. Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't, you know.
Yeah, Lady D, right? Yeah.
Lady D, yeah. So I was calling about Kyle Teal.
Catcher.
What if Veritek was like, this guy doesn't got it. He doesn't have it. Yeah.
That's what I think might have happened.
Good try. I haven't heard radio today. I heard about the trade the other day or yesterday. It reminds me like maybe Veritek's like, nope.
I personally think that having a better catcher on the staff would help the pitching staff. They like Connor Wong. They brought in the kid from the Blue Jays last year, Jensen, when I'm forgetting his name. He was pretty good as a catcher.
Yeah.
But I think they want to go. They just got a kid from the Yankees that they like. I think they want to go with that Connor Wong.
Connor's a stud too. Like
he's all that's left in the Mookie Betts deal too.
I know. It's awful, but like it's crazy. Like, why would we let go like a catching prospect? Okay, for a pitcher, I get it. You know, maybe this pitcher helps turn the corner, but I think Veritek might have had something to do with letting go of one of our like top catching prospects. You know, what do you think?
What's going on in Louisiana? What's the food scene like in Louisiana?
Oh, it's awful. Actually, it's great. So people ask me where you go for Italian food. I say Domino's.
Okay, like Cajun food everywhere, or what's it like?
Oh, it's great. It's great. So fried catfish is the greatest thing you'll ever eat in your entire life.
Never had it.
Down here. You got to come down, Joe.
All right, man. Well, I like the Louisiana Lafayette football team.
ULL?
I bet them a lot.
Cajuns?
Yeah, raging.
They're a bunch of dogs over there. You know, they don't get enough recognition, but they're still playing.
We just talked about them. All the way Boston, Massachusetts. You're from where again? Wilmington? You're from Wilmington?
Oh, Wilmington, yeah.
Did you ever go to Red Heat Tavern?
No, that's a new place.
It's really good.
Oh, man, really?
There's a sub shop. I met a guy there, too. He's been there forever. Come on, what's the name of it? Give me like a place you'd go get a chicken parm in Wilmington.
Pizza Mia.
Nope, keep going.
Brothers?
Keep going.
Uptown Deli?
AJ's Kitchen.
I've never heard of it. I grew up there until I was 18. I went to college, and the older I got, the further south I moved.
Do you tell people you're from Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Dummy up. First one of the night, Jeff. 9:36.
I'm shocked it's gotten this far in the show before we got one.
9:36 tonight. Well, let's do Joe, me, the money. Coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots getting ready for Arizona this weekend. Might have the Heisman Trophy tomorrow night. Find out who that is. The favorite, of course, is Hunter from Colorado. Some baseball moves today. Yankees acquire a closer from the Brewers. So that's not good. Williams is his name. Devin Williams. And, Kyle Tucker goes from Houston to the Cubs. Headlines, they are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandoilChange.com. You can save 15% off your drive-thru oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Now open in Franklin, Billerica, and Peabody. I'm Joe Murray. Joe, me the money.
Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
I took a loss over frost, but still got a knock.
Money! Jerry, does that make you feel good just to say that? Say it with me one time, Jerry.
Show you the money.
Oh, no, you can do better than that, Jerry. I want you to say it with meaning, brother. Hey, I got Bob Sugar on the other line. I better hear you say it.
Yeah, no. Show you the money.
Not show you. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah. Louder.
Show me the money.
That's it, brother, but you got to yell at me.
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
Show me the money. I got 4 bets for you this weekend, everybody. Get your pens ready. Army Navy tomorrow. To share a story with you, if you don't know, last year, myself and Bird were the only people who took the over. We were insane to take the over. It should have never happened. I got it at 38.5 this year, and I went over. Last year, we took the over as well. It was like 10-7. It was like 10-3 at halftime. So there was no shot of this thing going over. And what happens? Army takes a safety with no time remaining. And I have a video. I'll retweet it tomorrow because it'll probably pop up in my memories. Of me and Bird freaking out because we hit the bet. And you could hear literally everybody pissed that we won. Like, I'm talking pissed. Oh, that was like bragging rights, man. That made the whole game. The game was great itself. The experience, like bucket list, right? But winning that bet and everybody being pissed because everybody took the under. So I bet you tomorrow, everyone's going to take the under. Army's one of the best teams in the country this year. They won the AAC. Technically, if they didn't lose that bad to Notre Dame, they could be in the damn playoff. I think Navy hangs around, but give me the over 38.5. It's 40 now. So what? Over. By the way, this game has not gone over 40 points since 2013. That's going to change this year. Both teams a little more up-tempo. To the NFL we go, and the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young are favored for the first time in his career. I'm going to fade that. Give me Dallas plus 2.5 on the road this week. Ding, ding. Here's another one that I don't want people to get caught up in. Just 2 weeks ago, the Bucs struggled against the Panthers, but won in overtime. They won big time last weekend. They get the Chargers this week off a loss. Next week, they take on Dallas. Give me the Chargers -3 over the Bucs this week without Bucky Irving or any running backs. Chargers -3. Ring it. This is more of a fade for the Bucs than it is backing the Chargers off a loss. Just want to make that known because I think the Bucs win next week against Dallas, and then they win the division. Finally, Seattle leads their division. They've won back-to-back games. They had a big upset win last week, right? Now they're at home versus Green Bay. This is a seeding game. The 12th man ain't what it was years ago. I don't love backing Jordan Love as a favorite on the road, but give me the Packers -2.5 road chalk going into Seattle and taking care of business this week. I think that division with the Rams now winning, San Francisco losing, now if Seattle can lose, I think that thing's wide open, and the Cardinals could lose this weekend too. Who knows? Give me the Packers to win tonight. Ring that bell. So there we go. Show me the money. 4 picks in the books. It's been a wild Friday the 13th. Oh! I can't believe we get to go home after this. Let's take one call before we go to break here. Jay is in Norton. What's going on, Jay?
Oh, thank you, man, for taking this. A couple things. I couldn't believe no one talked about the McRib all day today. I don't know your take on that. I don't know.
Well, what about the McRib today?
I don't know if anyone talked about it. One of the best, foods around. I waited for it. But the real call is that when it comes out, I spend all winter trying to replicate it. So I just want to let everyone know that Cumberland Farms, in the real shady sandwich section, has a barbecued rib sandwich. But if you take that home and heat it up and do the right thing, it's like the same thing.
All right,
I bought a case.
So Jay, just let me know. I worked at a McDonald's when I was 17.
Yeah, last year. It's okay.
I worked at the one in Dedham. It was West Roxbury, Route 1.
Okay.
It's not there anymore. It was next to a Chuck E. Cheese.
Jeez.
But anyways, I've made the McRib myself. I've gotten the sauce. For me, it does not move my needle.
Really? Okay.
It does nothing. But now I will say this: have I used the McRib sauce to dunk some nuggies in? Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. What's up with the meat though? Like, what is that rib? Like, that's not rib. It's like frozen, not rib meat to me. I don't know why.
If you're in that category, you really don't care at that point. But
okay, so you're in Norton, right? Where do you go for ribs?
I actually haven't lived here long, but we'll go down to like Harry's to get fried chicken and ribs. There's a couple of places out here off the top of my head, but
where are you from?
Originally the Berkshires, but I've been
you're way out there, bro.
Yeah, well, that was 25 years ago, and I moved, and I was in restaurants for years and years and years in Boston and everything else. But it's down here I'm trying to scrape stuff together. But the other part is I was really sick for a week, as you can tell. I sound awesome, and when I got my taste buds back, my girlfriend's like, "Okay, maybe don't take it easy." And listening to you tonight, you gave me the motivation to really just kind of keep eating.
So you got up tonight in the cold weather, got in your car, and got a McRib. From what? Did I get you? Like, did I say something to make you want the McRib?
No, you just motivated me that it was okay to do that.
Well, listen, Jay, I'm really, I appreciate you calling me, letting me know I'm a part of your motivation.
Yeah, man, all four of them were perfect, by the way. Not just one.
So the McRib was good though when you got it?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
Can you get extra McRib sauce when you order it?
Yeah, so I get no onions, extra pickles, add cheese, and then get the extra sauce, yeah.
Well, Jay, hopefully that gives you the itis to get a good night's sleep tonight.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Buddy. Remember the itis? Did you ever see the Dave Chappelle skit?
Yes.
That's what the McRib reminds me of. When he's like eating that like whatever barbecue whatever and all of a sudden he's sleeping. He's like up all like what we do is we scroll, right? I'm a scroller in bed. Okay? I'm a bed scroller. But Dave Chappelle, he keeps that little rib in that little like it looks like a Clorox wipes machine wipes container. He needs to sleep. He pulls that bad boy out and gives him the itis right to sleep. The McRib reminds me of the itis. All right, we gotta go to break. Final break of the night. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, what's up, it's Owen? If you're a plumber, a pipe fitter, if you're in the piping trades, then you got to call my friends at Charles D. Sheehy. CDS is proud to work with the region's best life science, biotech, and pharma contractors to help them deliver their projects on time, within budget. Make